What's cracking, everybody? Zeraphoros here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content, and today's video is going to be an exciting shoutcast of a legend run by my buddy Ashifts in the Ultra League Halloween Cup, running this Runerigus, Weezing, Drapion team. Now, you've seen this probably on Tactical's channel in his meta-analysis video for the Ultra League Halloween Cup. We, in my Patreon Discord, have been cooking this team up since early September when we figured out what the meta was going to be. So, first of all, thanks for submitting the battles. If you'd like to submit some battles of your own to shoutcast on the channel, there is a link in the description for a form that you can fill out, and I will see if I can fit those in my videos schedule for whatever given week it is, for whatever meta it is. And if you're looking to get some PvP coaching, I'm on Metafy. Please check out the link in the video description to get in my schedule. See if we can't help you hit that next rank or get better at Pokemon Go PvP in general. And finally, shout outs to all my Patreon subscribers. And if you would like to become a Patreon subscriber, get early access to these teams, access to all my meta-analysis early before it hits YouTube, and honestly anything that goes on in my brain about this game, because that's where I pretty much put it all. Link in the description for the Patreon. There are a lot of benefits to being in that Discord, so I would highly recommend it if it fits your budget and if you're interested in doing something like that. So, that being said, let's get straight into the games now that I've plugged myself endlessly for the last minute, and we're going to see just how strong this team is in the Ultra League Halloween Cup. So, leading against a Drapion. This looks kind of scary to me, to be honest. But Ashifts is going to go straight into his Drapion here. Going to look to try and start getting ahead on energy. He's going to tank what looks like to be a Aqua Tail, probably. Yeah, no, it's a Crunch. Okay. I thought that was only 4, but I must have missed one while I was counting as well. But so he's going to go for the Crunch, and he's going to just load up on as much energy as he can here and look to get up to 2 Crunches, which is solid for the Drapion. That's kind of what you want to do when you're playing the Shadow Drapion, or even just Drapion safe swap in general, is if you're in a matchup like this where everything's resisted, try and like overload on energy just so that you have the energy to hit the opponent with when they swap out, because they're probably not going to stay in this matchup. Now, strangely enough, this opponent is staying in this matchup, so it's going to help Runerigus hopefully be a little bit more free in the end game, and Ashifts is going to be able to get this Crunch off, but they catch it on a Lola Ninetales. That is unfortunate. Lola Ninetales is going to now be able to come in. He's going to immediately go to Galarian Weezing, where he can resist the charm damage that's coming through and throw back those neutral play roughs. That poison typing on Galarian Weezing does help it resist the other fairy types, and the play rough and overheat combination is just deadly on this thing. Honestly, could even just farm down. The opponent just quits. They're done. All right, I'm not going to bother hitting transitions in this one because the cutoff is a little bit all over the place. So we're just going to check out the battles as they come. So Drapion is going to come in here against this Mandibuzz, and Nidoqueen is going to meet the Drapion. And honestly, this isn't terrible as long as we don't eat an Earth Power. The Crunches are going to do at least, I don't know, probably about 35-40% of the Nidoqueen's HP. Yeah, and if it's Shadow, it's better, but this one's not. So he's going to shield up a potential Earth Power. He's going to try and fight for a switch here. You kind of have to, because of the fact that Runerigus is completely walled by Mandibuzz. So the opponent goes for Poison Fang, and Ashifts is looking to CMP tie on the potential Earth Power here. Probably going to throw another shield up just to make sure he doesn't get one shot, but now the opponent is within range of needing to shield this up, and they may just keep their 2 shields and go and let the Nidoqueen go, and I think that will be the ideal thing here. So he's probably going to have to farm up a lot of extra energy, though. He's going to easily get both shields here right back if the opponent decides to shield twice, or if they just let go the Nidoqueen. No, they're going to look to shield twice, so maybe he's going to try to catch a move here. I would probably try and catch on the Runerigus, and just kind of hope that Galarian Weezing can sweep. But opponent double shields here. Looks like he's going to try and catch... Oh my god. He catches a move on the Runerigus. What did he catch? Is it an Earth Power or Poison Fang? It's an Earth Power. That Earth Power, look, it tickles. It tickles. Okay? It tickles. He's going to go straight for Sandstone. Going to look to lower the defense of the Mandibuzz, which makes sense. If you can go for Shadow Balls after the defense is dropped, it's not like they can shield or will shield if they had any shields anyway. So having a slightly lower defense might help. The opponent's Mandibuzz probably just attempts to farm down from here, though, so you kind of have to be careful about that after the fact. They may load up on energy, and then swap out, and then come back in. You have to keep in mind that the Mandibuzz goes running Air Slash, so even against, Weezing, or even against Drapion, that's still going to do a considerable amount of fast move damage. But Dark Pulse is just going to completely take out the Runerigus here, and the opponent's going to throw an Aerial Ace most likely into the Weezing. Weezing absolutely walling the Dark types in this meta, and having access to Overheat shields down this thing as a little monster. So let's see what Sheeps does with his Galarian Weezing as it looks to completely sweep the opponent's team. You have to be careful, though. The Nidoqueen could just come in, and you got to be able to farm it down. He's going in for the Drapion. The opponent's got a Drapion in the back. This is a very, very scary situation here. Going to go straight for the Overheat, maybe, and then maybe dip out to reset the debuff. And we'll see what happens here. Overheat does do a considerable amount of damage to the Drapion. He looks to try and catch a move, which he does, but not without them probably noticing first. But they are going to throw the... Excuse me? This Mad Lad's running return on his... Okay, all right. You know what? Respect. Drapion normally doesn't have return, but I definitely don't mind it. Would probably much rather run it with Sludge Bomb, though. So that makes this Weezing a little bit more interesting here. If he can survive the return and farm down, hit the Nidoqueen with a Play Rough, that'll be the game right there. Let's see how much damage... No, never mind. Takes it out. Takes it out. Give him a little button there. Runerigus on the lead here versus Nidoqueen. This is where you like to see it. This is the whole idea of the team, is to catch the Nidoqueens that we would have expected to see. Drapion's going to come in, and we mirror with the other Drapion. I think at that point, maybe, it's hard, because if the Drapion gets too far out of energy, it completely wins the situation. But they're also running Aqua Tail, so this is a little bit of a difficult experience now. I don't think you're going to be able to really win switch against this Drapion unless they decide not to shield here, but I'm going to see how Sheeps handles the situation. Aqua Tails are just completely chunking down the Drapion here, and they're outpacing as well. I think the play there may have been to throw the Sand Tomb first and then start going for crunches, but at that point you're so far behind on energy, it's hard to say. An Aqua Tail here definitely won't KO, but it puts you in a very dangerous farm range for the Drapion, so you kind of have to just see what you can make happen here. Going for double crunches might be okay if you can get to the second crunch. And we're going to just have to see how this plays out, because Weezing against Nidoqueen, like, shields up, not great. Shields down, go for an overheat or two, and you're getting very low. But we'll see how this goes. If the opponent decides to shield, which they do, now they're down to shield, and Runerigus is gonna... Oh, the catch, dude. That's so not nice. So the opponent catches the Sand Tomb here, and now the Sheeps is going to come in with the Weezing here to get some use out of the Weezing before it gets hit against the Nidoqueen. I kind of see a win condition here, if there is one. It's going to be to load up on energy with the Weezing, throw the overheats into the Nidoqueen, and then try and get Runerigus to do some magic, and maybe have enough HP left over, maybe one of the shields, to... Oh man, that did so much damage! I wasn't even expecting it to do that much damage. Goodness! Runerigus gets the Sand Tomb off or something against the Drapion, hopefully. Overheat is not quite going to be there. Maybe he can get the last shield with this Overheat, hopefully. That would probably be the only thing left for this Nidoqueen to do. Opponent maybe not paying attention to the switch timer. No, they are definitely paying attention. So, going for the Overheat with 2 shields, though, I think that Runerigus definitely wins this game, though. It's bulky enough that Nidoqueen's Earth Powers aren't going to do a whole lot of damage to it, and... Nope, they don't even shield. They're going to leave it for Drapion. You know what? That deserves it. That deserves the button. Easily just 2 shield the Runerigus. You don't even have to shield the first move. You don't even have to. You don't even have to. I wouldn't have. I would have probably not. But it's fine. Their opponent tries to put their trust in the fact that the opponent... He probably didn't even think he was running Overheat. The opponent probably thought that Sheeps was running Sludge, Play Rough. But, you know what? That's okay. We take the wins, right? You're running for Legend. You take the ones where you can get them. So, takes out that Drapion with the Sand Tomb, and that's a good game. Well played. Runerigus comes in on the lead against Alolan Ninetales, and this is kind of scary, but at least the whole team has play against it. So this is, I guess this is where we safe swap in and get some lag. We safe swap in the Weezing because of the Overheat. Gonna go straight for the Overheat. The Sheeps is not messing around here. Gonna look to nuke, even though the Weezing just swapped in and the switch locked, and it gets the shield. That's not where you wanted to see that happen. The shield coming up, you were hoping that maybe they expected that you were possibly just going to go for the Play Rough bait. Now the attack is dropped so hard that the Overheat may not even come close to KOing. But the fact that they're also running Powder Snow means that Drapion should be able to do some respectable work here. And because we're getting shields, easy. 1 Sludge Bomb wins it all. So... the Weezing is going to go down, but it did its job. It got 2 shields, right? That doesn't matter. You're going to come in with Drapion here, most likely, because you can't let Runerigus eat those Weather Balls. That's going to add up very quickly. So Drapion's going to come in here and start getting ahead on energy. And I think that you just let this go, because it's probably just a Weather Ball. Yeah. So Weather Ball is going to get hit, and now the opponent is going to throw their next Weather Ball. They were almost at enough for a Dazzling Gleam. That would have been worth a shield, but that's okay. The Weather Ball is going to get a shield here, and the Chiefs is going to go straight for Sludge Bomb, but he overfarms, expecting a catch, which would have happened if he had been not paying attention. So here comes a couple of crunches that are going to easily take this Giratina, but now you got to wonder, do you just swap in Runerigus at this point because it's running Dragon Breath? No, you just take out the Giratina outright. That's okay. It makes sense to me. Runerigus with a shield here, honestly, could Shadow Ball the Ninetales at this point with the HP range that it's at. So we'll see what the opponent has in the back to come in with. Probably not going to come back in with the Ninetales at this point. Easily shield and Sludge Bomb. All right, they come in, is going to shield and Sludge Bomb, and I know exactly where this is going to go. And then we'll see. Maybe they've got a Nidoqueen in the back. Who knows? We'll see what they've got in back here. That is apparently afraid of Drapion. Probably another Ghost, if I'm honest. Could be a Gengar. Could be a no. Instead, it could be a Genesect. Ooh, this is scary. Genesect with Technoblast. Looks to catch a move. Oh, I don't know if the Technoblast KOs, though. I don't think one Technoblast fully KOs. I know in practice he and I did this, and it doesn't fully KO. No, it doesn't. Will Shadow Ball be enough to take out the Genesect? Will he get to the Shadow Ball in time? He does. Is he going to be able to take out Genesect? Because Genesect can farm down and get the drop on Drapion because it wins CMP. This is so close, dude. Oh, my goodness. With 1 HP in a dream, Genesect gets a Magnet Bomb against the Runerigus, and goes down to the Crunch that comes in because it doesn't have enough energy for another move, and Crunch is going to take out Drapion. I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried at all. Not at all. Drapion takes that out and wins the game, and that's going to be a good game. Here we go again, about halfway through the battles now. Runerigus against Mandibuzz. We've seen this before. Probably going to dip into the Drapion and try to rest switch from the opponent. This is a Snarl, Alolan Muck, and the opponent comes in with a Tapu Fini. If you know this matchup, you go straight Sludge Bomb, and you outpace the Tapu Fini to 3 moves. And by the time they get to the Sludge Bomb, you know what? No, you get the button for that. Sludge Bomb does so much damage, at this point you just farm it down. This could be a Moonblast, though. This is worth a shield to me, but it's Surf. That's fine. So I think you just farm down at this point. Even if it's another move, it's definitely a Surf, but they don't even get to another move. Tapu Fini just goes, he just quit. Oh, goodness. That's great. All right, Runerigus again. Runerigus against Tapu Fini. Okay, this is terrible. This is actually a really bad lead. You have to go straight into the Drapion here and just hope that you can make something happen. They come with an Escavalier. Now, for those who aren't aware, Drapion wins the 2 shields. Yes, it does. It outpaces to 4 crunches before the opponent can get to 3 drill runs. So useful information if you're ever in this situation. You just 2 shield and let it go. But you could also make a case for just no shielding, letting the drill run come through just like that. Takes out Drapion in 1 shot, and now the Runerigus is going to come in and get the biggest farm down of its life. And now, quite suddenly, Tapu Fini has to deal with, does it want to eat 2 Shadow Balls or not? So, opponent is going to throw a Drill Run before going down here, but Runerigus is going to farm all the way down and get almost like to 70, 80 energy. No, it's at like 90. All right, so we're going to easily get a couple Shadow Balls off against the Tapu Fini here before the he shielded. He just shielded it straight up. Oh, if that was a Sand Tomb, how bad would you have felt, you know? Gonna go for the second of the 2 Shadow Balls here against the Tapu Fini. Gonna pull it, you know, get a shield on the first one, and then gonna come in with the Galarian Weezing afterwards. The opponent has to throw Surf here because a Moonblast is resisted. You do have to shield this up, though, because at this point you don't know what's in the back, and you need to keep your Weezing healthy. So Surf is gonna get the shield, and the Chiefs is gonna go for the Play Rough here. The opponent catches it on her. Man, that sucks. Opponent catches the Play Rough on their Genesect. Now at this point, you can just go straight for Play Rough anyway, and then hopefully you get a shield and then go for Overheat. At this point, though, Runerigus could have some play here if we save the shield for it, and could farm down this Genesect. Now, if the opponent's Genesect is able to get to 2 moves, that's a problem. So we're gonna shield. We're gonna see him shield up here, and he's gonna go for Magnet Bomb. Now, I think you get to a Play Rough before they get to another Magnet Bomb. I think. Oh. This is it. This is going to KO like 16 Genesects right here. 1 Overheat, 1 Genesect. Goodbye. Takes out the Genesect. That attack goes down hugely, but you know what? Doesn't matter because we're going to be able to see the opponent throw a Surf into the Weezing. And then what? It's not going to KO. So I think at this point, you probably build up to the Play Rough and swap. Yep, clear the debuff. Catch a move, too. Oh, good. That's great. Catches the move. Going to get this thing into the range of Play Rough. Play Rough. Oh, they undercharge it. The opponent undercharged. Who's going to get to move first? Sand Tomb? Sand Tomb? Sand Tomb just in time. for the Tapu Fini to get that out. They catch the move right back on him. A catch on both sides in this game. Turns out for a win for Team Runerigus, and that is a good game, well played. So, right into the next one. Okay, Drifblim is actually a bad matchup for Runerigus because of the Icy Wind, but they decide to swap out immediately, and they come in with an Alolan, or not Alolan, this is a regular Muck, not Alolan Muck. Goodness, this is not a good place for this Muck to be. However, at the same time, you have to be able to know that because it's not the Alolan version, you can come in with Drapion pretty nicely here and just crunch this thing down. So 2 crunches will easily KO from this range. An opponent's just going to go for Thunder Punches because they can't really go for Dark Pulses resisted. So going to tank a couple of Thunder Punches here, no reason not to. And then these crunches are going to fly off the handle. And, I mean, the opponent's going to have to worry about the Drifblim here. Because this Drapion is absolutely loaded. Got a defense drop. Gonna throw another move though before letting the opponent get to another move here. The Thunder Punch would probably KO from this range. They let the Muck go down, and now the Drifblim comes back in, but is gonna have to eat a crunch. And that is not ideal. But there's some lag here, and unfortunately, Ashif's is probably like, and really? 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 Bruh. I hope that he still wins this game. Drapion's just out sitting there loading up on free energy like that doesn't even matter. Oh, I hope he wins this game, so that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Niantic, please do something about this. I don't know what there is that you can do. I know that the servers have something to do with it, but we would all really appreciate this not happening anymore. You have to no-shield this, even though it's Icy Wind. And I think you just swap into Weezing at this point to try and get some, get a debuff cleared. Oh, this is terrible. You know how much better this game goes if that doesn't happen? Easily gets 2 more crunches off against the Drifblim. Runerigus doesn't have to sit here and get triple debuffed. I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous. I'm upset. I'm watching this and I'm upset. So, whatever. Anyway, that gets the last shield. Gonna pray for Weezing to be able to get something done here against this Drifblim. I'm hoping they have a Bug Steal in the back so it can get one shot. That's what I'm personally hoping for. Icy Wind is not going to get a shield from this Weezing. Gonna go for the Play Rough here. I don't think this is going to be enough to KO though, unfortunately, so we're going to have to see what happens. The opponent is going to have I don't even know what they have in the back. We're probably not even going to find out. It's awful. You don't even get to find out what they have in the back. You have to shield this up though. You have to go for the Play Rough. You got a double attack debuff now, which really stinks. And the opponent's not even swapping. Oh, there it is. Here comes the Toxicroak. And you know how good this could be? Runerigus would destroy this thing if it had its health bar back. This sucks. I'm just gonna say it. This sucks. Opponent's gonna easily get to it. Yeah, this is easily a win. This is easily a win for a Chiefs if that didn't happen. I don't know what that was all about, but man, it's ridiculous. So yeah, surrender and exit. You know what? You might as well at that point. That's upsetting. Anyway, into the next game. Hopefully it goes better this time. Giratina lead. If it's got Shadow Claw, you bail to Drapion. If it's got Dragon Breath, you stay in. And it's got Dragon Breath. So Chiefs is going to stay in and probably go straight for the Shadow Ball here. Opponent is not going to throw their Dragon Claw right away. They're probably going to build up to Shadow Sneak to try and get shields or deal extra super effective damage. But the Shadow Ball gets the shield immediately. So now that they're up to shield, the Chiefs is going to be able to come in with Drapion and know that he can win this matchup if the Giratina decides to stay in. Dragon Claw is going to come through on this Giratina, but the Giratina unfortunately has to bail out at this point. Tentacruel is going to come in, and the Crunch is going to get fired off. And there is a baby who is crying away. And she's going to join us. Hello. Maggie's here now. Everything's better. No more lag, right? Hi, baby girl. She's still waking up. She's like, what is this? What is going on here? Tentacruel and Drapion are duking it out. Tentacruel is going to get a shield off the Drapion here. Oh, she is so grumpy. She's like, put me back in bed, old man. Look at that face. Oh, she does not want to be awake. That's how I look when I wake up too, sweetheart. Alright, Crunch is going to come through. The opponent decides not to shield their Tentacruel. And they've got a Crobat in the back, which is not great for a Chiefs. Runerigus and Weezing both not having super amazing matchups against this thing. You have to kind of land the overheat here against the Crobat. And if the Crobat lands a Shadow Ball on the Runerigus, not great for that either. So Runerigus is going to come in to meet this Crobat. Do we get the shield or not? I think he's just trying to get them to throw their energy. Nope. Going to shield at the Shadow Ball. Good shield on their part. And then Giratina is going to come back in and get Shadow Balled. Or not. That sucks. So we've got a Dragon Claw coming through and immediately switches into the Weezing, because this is a really good place for Weezing to be. If we can take out this Giratina, and that gives the Crobat a lot to overcome against both of these Pokemon, now that the Runerigus has just about a whole move stored. So Weezing is going to get the play rough, going to take out the Giratina easily here. And then Crobat is going to come in and have to eat the Overheat or shield it. They only have one choice, and that's to lose. Because they either shield the Overheat and take the Shadow Ball, or they don't shield the Overheat and they lose. And they still have to shield another Overheat. So the Crobat is not at a Shadow Ball, definitely. So they will not be able to get this off. So Overheat's going to come through, and even then, at this point, you could just pop him with the Runerigus if it doesn't KO and Shadow Ball in there anyway. So that's going to do it just about for this game. Comes in, gets that Shadow Ball off, and that's going to be it for this game. Very well played. And this team is so strong, man. This team is so strong. You see anything that isn't a hard counter to it, and you're good to go, man. Galarian Weezing is so strong. Look at, speaking of hard counters, right? Hard countering the Escavalier in the lead. Escavalier is going to have to bail out immediately. Drapion's going to come in, and as we've seen earlier, the Chiefs is going to come in with his own Drapion. I think you have to do something to their Drapion first, though. But the nice thing is that you could force shields in this situation, potentially, and both Weezing and Runerigus kind of really do well against the Escavalier, because Weezing has Overheat. Runerigus just completely, like, walls it for the most part. So we're just going to see how this plays out. Drapions are going to fight it out, but it's honestly probably better to get the Drapion out of the way now, because Drapion does pretty well against the rest of this team on its own. So we're going to see Chiefs go for crunches here over and over and over and over again until one of these two Drapions falls to its face on the ground. And once that happens, you see. Now I think you may even want to consider shielding here, but I don't think you do because they have Aqua Tail. Just let it go. Try and get one more crunch off if you can, and then, yeah, I don't think you get another crunch off, to be honest. Oh my goodness, barely with 1 HP he's able to get to another crunch to take Drapion out. IVs matter until they don't matter, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why they matter. Crunch is not going to take out the Drapion because it's going to get a shield, but now because they have Crunch and Aqua Tail, Chiefs knows he can come in with the Weezing and farm down, and now that they're down a shield as well, if the Escavalier comes back in, they're going to have to deal with eating 2 Overheats, and I'm pretty sure even a debuffed Overheat just about KOs. So here comes Escavalier, and they are going to have to figure out what it means to get an Overheat to the face. I've got the button ready. I don't know if they're going to shield, but we're going to find out real quick. No, they shielded it. That's fine. I think you just go for another Overheat, to be honest. I don't know if it survives. We're going to find out how much a debuffed Overheat does to an Escavalier right now, everybody. We're going to see how much this is going to do. The opponent doesn't catch the move. They're going to catch these hands, though. Double debuffed Overheat. Let's see. Still one shot to Escavalier. Goodness, Maggie, did you see the HP bar go away? Now, that's unfortunate because there is a Mandibuzz, but since it's the last Pokemon alive, that means that this Runerigus can easily not shield anything, go for as many Sand Tombs as it possibly can, and then just play rough from a Weezing will KO this Mandibuzz most likely. So this is looking to be a good game, and I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. So we're going to see just how this Runerigus holds up against Mandibuzz. Obviously, we know it's going to get a charge move and go down. And at some point, the Mandibuzz is going to have to... it's going to have to just... Weezing is going to come in after the timer resets. I know that it's going to happen. It has to. As soon as Weezing comes in and throws this player off, it's pretty much over. The opponent can't swap to clear the debuff, and they are now at least 4 times debuffed from the Sand Tombs that have come through. They are not letting any of their energy go. So here comes the Weezing, and the Weezing is just going to get to a player off. I think you no-shield this because you don't go down an Aerial Ace. No, going to shield the first Aerial Ace. That's fine. Either way, you have to shield one of them. But after this, easily going to be able to get to a play rough and KO the Mandibuzz, and that is not only going to be a good game, but also going to hit Legend for his Chiefs in this set. Going to be enough, because that's what he told me. He said he hit Legend. Right? I think that's what happened. She has no idea what's going on. Taking a victory, getting the 4-1 to hit Legend on that set. Going to be able to get the nice new Guzma pose. And there's the video. He cuts off before you even get Legend. Anyway, well-played battles, man. The team is a spectacular thing. It's very strong in this meta. And if you have the pieces, I know it's all triple XL. This is a very expensive team. But if you've got it, it's really, really good. And hopefully with the Halloween event that happened lately, you know, getting the XLs for Runerigus hasn't been so much an issue. Honestly, for me, it's really just been the dust. So that's going to do it for these battles, guys. Thank you so much for watching these, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.